You haven't been saved by either the public or by your fellow islanders. Therefore, you cannot stay on Love Island as a couple. One of you must now leave the island.
So that meant that Michael and Joanna should have been going home. So come look at twists that the ITV producers have brought in. Come and look at that twist. Guys, what a fucking twist. Who saw that coming? I'm here watching Love Island, you know, taking my little notes down, gonna film my review tomorrow morning. But nah, that twist was too good. I'm gonna have to like film it tonight. I'm ready for bed, I don't care. What? Well, okay, let's start at the top of this episode. Let's start at the start. Okay, so this is kind of like a different vibe. I'm using my vlogging camera. We're doing it handheld. I've got makeup on my face everywhere, but we're just gonna do this review because that was a good little twist. Love Island, you're finally doing something right. You can tell that they're paying attention to what the public wants to see. Thank you very much. So we saw the episode starting with Maura saying that like she thinks that Michael and Joanna are miserable. Thank you. Another person who's in there with them saying the same thing. Curtis later on said the same thing to Michael. We saw him deny it vehemently. He's so convinced he's the happiest he's ever been. I don't particularly understand this delusion. How can you be that happy and yet people who are around you are looking at you and all they see is you being miserable? The happiest you've ever been, but you look miserable. I don't get it. I feel like he's wrapped this delusion, woven it so well that he's actually convinced that he's happy, that they have a better chemistry and connection. Like, I genuinely believe that Michael believes this, which is unbelievably insane. And we saw more in the girls encouraging Amber to go for it and put herself out there and tell Michael how she feels. I was like, nah sis, don't do it, you know. If only she'd heard all the things that he's had to say about her. And like we saw Amber saying, you know, that if he wants me, he needs to be the one to make a move. And honestly, I was like, yes, because my guy Michael has used his chest, you know, to badmouth her, to dump her, to just say really horrible things about her. Let him use that same chest to come back crawling and apologize. I was firmly team Amber, don't put yourself out there, because, you know, the way Michael has been going on, I definitely expected him to reject her. We did see later on in the episode that he didn't reject her, but I don't really feel like the vibe he was giving off was very encouraging either. She did say to him, don't give me an answer yet, but I do get the feeling that it probably wasn't going to be the response that Amber was hoping to get. He didn't really give her anything that I could use as encouragement. He didn't smile, nothing. It was just quite awkward. But at the same time, as much as I didn't want Amber to put herself out there like that, I respected it. Like, the girl's got guts to go for what she wants and, you know, risk that rejection. I respected it, so kudos to her. She's been so mature about the whole thing, especially when we saw Belle kicking off completely at Anton in this episode, completely embarrassing him, you know, at the party when he dumped her and was like, it's all over. She proper kicked off, and I get where she's coming from, but then it just takes you back to just how well Amber handled, you know, that public humiliation of walking back in the villa and seeing Michael coupled up with Joanna and then him blaming it all on her. Like, yeah, I'm pretty proud of the girl, to be honest. So we also saw Belle and Anton's relationship pretty much start to deteriorate. I think Belle was quite smart in that she didn't get too offended by the number on the receipt thing. I just think that's quite minor. Anton likes to play the clown and be the lad and the joker, and I think he just got a bit carried away with a bit of boy banter. I do understand why she got a bit upset about him kissing Anna and saying it's because you're the best kisser. A lot of the other guys just kissed the girl they were coupled up with because they didn't want to kiss anybody else. So I get where she was coming from, but at the same time I felt like the way she completely refused to accept that ring, you know, there's like masculine pride. A lot of men cannot take rejection like that is that public, like that level of public humiliation. A lot of men just cannot take it, and we all saw how badly Anton took it. Like he was like, I'm done, it's over, and he ended it just because. And up until then they've been doing really well. They seem like, you know, things have been going super well, but men can't handle that kind of like public embarrassment. So I do feel like Belle didn't handle that very well, but in the recoupling we did see that them being saved by the couple seemed to like bring them a lot closer together. And you know, I think that they, at first when I was seeing Belle kicking off, I was like, nah, they're not coming back from this. Like she is burning all the bridges. But I feel like the dumping came at the right time, because it seems like that has kind of brought them back together, and they might be able to work on it just now that they've seen that they've survived the public vote. But that dumping, whew, was there anything else we had to touch on before the dumping? Maybe just like Curtis deciding to sleep in bed, sleep on the day bed instead of sharing the bed with Francesca. I feel like he's pretty much made his choice now. The fact that he got out of the bed with Francesca, a bed that he had to be in anyway because they were in a couple, as Ovi said, that pretty much says everything. Like if he'd done that to Maura, she would have been fuming, and I just feel like that's where his head is at. He's definitely leaning more towards Maura, and he just needs to call it and just say, look, that's what it is. But I feel like he doesn't really want to put his eggs firmly in Maura's basket. I feel like he's still hoping that another bombshell walks in and he can crack on with her, because I still don't feel like Maura's really his type. But I know that he prefers her to Francesca. So I think the producers did quite well. They brought that whole leaving the villa, going for a party vibe, which is really good because it gets to bring the islanders out of their shells. And we saw Amber confessing her feelings to Michael. I was like, okay. But now let's get to the recoupling, the best part. We saw Molly and Tommy, and Amber and Ovi were the first two couples that they said were saved, and I'm sure that must have come as a surprise for some of the couples in there, because usually friendship couples don't do that well. But that's the power of the masses. How cute are Amber and Ovi? Honestly, I just wish, like, there was a part during the episode where I thought, okay, things might actually happen, when he said that he would marry Amber, and Amber also said that he's the one that she would marry as well. And when they were talking about their date, and Amber described it as being grey, I was like, yes, like they really seem to be building a stronger connection. If not for Michael, I really feel like Amber and Ovi could have really built something special. But yeah, it was good to see them safe. That was like, whew, a relief. But bittersweet yet, because the third couple saved was Anton and Belle, which automatically meant that Jordan and Anna were in the bottom two with Michael and Joanna. Obviously I knew that Amber would save her girl Anna, and the way that the vote went, I was a bit surprised that it wasn't more convincing towards saving Anna and Jordan, but I'm happy that they were saved either way, you know. So that meant that Michael and Joanna should have been going home. So come look at twists that the ITV producers have brought in. Come and look at that twist. And that twist, I'm sorry to say it, because, you know, if it had been Anna and Jordan, maybe they would have done it as well though. But I do feel like that twist was really brought in because they knew that there was a good chance that Joanna and Michael would be in the bottom two. Who else agrees with me? Who else agrees that this twist was brought in because they know that the public want to see Amber and Michael reunited? So let's talk about what Caroline Flack said. So Caroline said that they couldn't stay on the island as a couple. One of you must now leave the island. So it's not even just like they can't stay on the island as a couple, where now they're both single and they can both stay as singles, but they can't recouple. It's a case of, no, one of you must go. And I'm sorry, that is definitely done, in my opinion, for Michael to stay, Joanna to go, and for Amber and Michael to get a chance at reconciliation. So they haven't actually said to us how this decision is going to get made, who gets to stay and who gets to go. If it's the public, if it's the islanders that vote, I'm pretty sure they're all going to choose to save Michael. He's been in there the longest. But it may also be the case that Michael and Joanna decide between themselves who should stay and who should go. And that will be a very interesting test. Obviously Joanna shouldn't stay because she hasn't been in there as long, you know, and Michael was the one who saved her in the first place, so it'd be a bit of a kick in the face if she's now like, well, no, I deserve to stay and you can go. But this is going to be a good test because they do have the option to refuse for either of them to stay. They have the option to refuse and both go home together and go and make this great connection that Michael's so convinced about work. But I have a strong feeling that my guy, especially with Amber confessing her feelings and letting him know that that door is still open, that if he gets to stay, he's gonna stay. He's not gonna go with his girl Joanna. He's gonna choose to stay, and there may be a possible, you know, reconnection between Amber and Michael. I'm not going to be too happy about it because I feel like I wanted to see Michael choose Amber. I wanted him to realize that what he had with Joanna was not as good as what he had with Amber. I don't really feel like I want to see him now end up with Amber because he never chose her. It's like settling, it's like making do. You know, she's not his first choice, and I don't know how genuine it would be now either. But my prediction, Michael's gonna get to stay. Goodbye Joanna. And you know, Amber's gonna pretty much get exactly what she wanted, Michael back with a possibility without Joanna. That's a good twist, guys. I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow night. Let me know what you guys think. Should Amber entertain it with the fact that she's second choice because he didn't get to choose? She's his choice by default if he gets to stay. I mean, me just doing me. We're looking good, we're feeling good. I'll catch you guys soon.